Okay, good morning all of you. Today we will learn about testing of DC machines too. So today we will discuss about Hopkinson test and Swinburne test, Hopkinson test and Swinburne test on DC machines. So yesterday's class we will discuss about brake test on DC motor. Brake test means a direct load test. By conducting brake test, we obtain the efficiency of the motor at different loads and characteristics of the motor. Today also, by conducting Hopkinson test and the Swinburne test, we obtain the efficiency of the machines at different loads and characteristics of the machines at different loads. These two tests, Hopkinson test and Swinburne test, Hopkinson test is also called back-to-back test or regenerative test. Hopkinson test is also called back-to-back test or regenerative test. That is also called load test. Swinburne test is also called no load test. No load test. Test is conducted under no load condition. In Hopkinson test, test is conducted under load condition. So in these two tests, machine may be run as generator or motor. So that means efficiencies and performance of the machines are determined generator as well as motor case. First of all, we discuss about Hopkinson test. Hopkinson's test. First test. So this is another useful method of testing the efficiency of a DC machine. DC machine means it may be generator or motor. So this test is conducted both machine and both generator and motor. So it is a full load test. That means the test is conducted under full load condition. Test is conducted under full load condition, full loaded condition. So it requires two identical, very important point is in this test we require two identical machines, shunt machines, that is also two identical shunt machines. So that means Hopkinson's test is conducted on two identical shunt machines. In these two identical machines, one machine acts as a generator, second machine acts as a motor. One machine acts as a generator, second machine acts as a generator and motor set. That means this test is conducted on tests. Set means having both male and female. That means generator and motor, which are coupled to each other. This is also a very important point in Hopkinson test. Which are coupled to each other means both generator and motor are mechanically coupled. Both generator and motor are mechanically coupled. That means their shafts are connected together. As well as their electrical terminals also connected in parallel. So that means both generator and motor are mechanically coupled as well as electrically connected in parallel. Electrically connected means it may be connected in series or parallel combination. But here in this test, both motor and generator are electrically connected in parallel. So parallel connection, mechanical connection. There exists a parallel connection and mechanical connection in between the two identical machines. In between these two identical machines. So one machine acts as a motor, second machine acts as a generator. So one of these two machines is operated as a generator. So one acts as a generator, one machine acts as a generator. So this generator supplies electrical power to the motor. So that means one machine acts as a generator, second machine acts as a motor. That means this generated electrical power is supplied to the motor. So that means generator gives power to the motor, electrical motor. And on the other hand, the motor, on the other hand, see, as motor to drive the generator. That means motor gives mechanical power to the generator. So the DC motor gives mechanical power to the generator. Generator gives electrical power to the motor. So that's why this test is called back-to-back test. This Hopkinson test is called back-to-back test. Back-to-back, connected together from one to other. This is also called back-to-back test. Hopkinson test is also called back-to-back test, or this test is also called regenerative test. So that means this test having three names: Hopkinson, back-to-back, or regenerative test. If there are no losses, if suppose there are no losses in this in the machines, the external power supplied would be have no external power supply would have needed. That means if no losses, no external power supply is needed. Generator gives power, electrical power to the motor. Motor gives mechanical power to the generator. If there is no losses, no supply is required from the supply, total system, again by external system, But there exists some losses in actual machine, but there exists some losses. The generator output would need extra voltage to supply proper input voltage to the motor. Hence, power drawn from the external supply is therefore used to overcome the internal losses of the motor generator set. So that means actually there exist losses in the machines. To overcome these losses, we give supply from external source. We give supply to the both parallel combination of set from the external source. Hopkinson test is also called regenerative test or back-to-back test, or this another name is heat run test. Total 4 names: Hopkinson test, back-to-back test, regenerative test, or heat run test. That means test is conducted continuously for half an hour or 15 minutes or 1 hour. That test is called heat run test. Heat run test. To determine the heat generated in the machine, the test must be runs continuously with 1 hour to half an hour to 1 hour, like that. That if the test is conducted like in that manner, that test is called heat run test. So Hopkinson, back-to-back, regenerative, or heat run test. So main purpose of this test is to determine the efficiencies and performance of the machines at different loads. So main disadvantage of this test is two identical machines are required. Two identical machines are in similar character, having similar characteristics, and similar power rating, similar voltage rating. Machines are required. That is also a disadvantage of this test. So both are connected mechanically, both are connected electrically in parallel. So that is the important points. So in this manner, two machines are connected. Motor generator set. So this is the generator. So this is the motor. Both are connected mechanically. Here, see, they both are coupled mechanically. In this test, both are connected, coupled mechanically. In Hopkinson test, two machines. We use two machines. So one act as a generator, second act as a motor. In this manner, two machines are connected mechanically as well as electrically. Here the circuit connection for Hopkinson test is shown in figure. So this is the circuit connection for Hopkinson test. A motor and a generator, both identical, are coupled together. Both identical are coupled together. When the machine is started, it is started as a motor. So first of all, the circuit connected, both are connected, coupled and electrically connected. So first motor is started. One machine acts as a motor. One machine acts as a motor. That means circuit is started as a motor. The shunt field of the machine, the shunt field distance of the machine is adjusted so that the motor can run at a rated speed. So because we know that speed is proportional to, in a DC machine, speed is proportional to back EMF by flux. Flux means field current. So because flux is proportional to field current, flux is proportional to field current. If you vary the field current, flux varies. Flux varies means speed also varies. If flux increases, speed decreases. If flux decreases, speed increases. In that manner, speed of the motor is varied. Speed of the motor is varied. So that speed of the motor is adjusted to rated speed. Remember, rated speed. The generator voltage is now made to equal to supply voltage by adjusting the shunt field resistance connected across the generator. See, if you vary the motor field rheostat, motor speed varies. So that motor field rheostat is adjusted up to motor runs its rated speed. If motor runs at rated speed, generator and motor both are mechanically coupled. So that means generator also runs at its rated speed with the help of the motor. Then two machines runs at rated speed. Now the generator field rheostat is adjusted. Because both machines are shunt machines. Now the generator voltage is now made to equal to supply voltage by adjusting the shunt field resistance control across the generator. See, so the generated EMF in a generator is given by Eg equal to pi z by 60 into P by A. The generated EMF in a generator Eg is proportional to Eg equal to generated EMF equal to. So this is the formula for generated EMF in a generator, pi z n by 60 into P by A. So this is the generated EMF in a generator. So poles are fixed. Once machine design means poles are fixed, parallel paths are fixed, conductors also fixed, 60 also fixed. So that means the generated EMF in a generator is proportional to flux and speed. If you run the generator at a rated speed with constant speed, if generator speed is also constant, Eg is proportional to flux. Flux is proportional to field current. So therefore, flux is proportional to field current means Eg is also proportional to field current. If. So that means generated EMF varies by varying the field current of the generator. I will show you in circuit. So here we have two shunt machines. So two machines are identical, having same characteristics, same power rating, same voltage rating. So this machine acts as a generator. The total shunt machine. Armature and field both are connected in parallel. So this is a generator. So this machine acts as a motor. So field winding and armature winding both are connected in parallel because both are shunt machines. So both are shunt machines. Now, so this rheostat purpose is to vary the motor field. This rheostat purpose is to vary the generator field. If you vary this generator field, so field current of the generator varies. This is the Ig value. For example, this is Ig. So that means IGF means generator field current. So this one is IMF means motor field current. IMF motor field current, generator field current. Motor field current and generator field current. If you vary the motor field rheostat, this field current varies. If you vary the generator field rheostat, this field current varies. So Eg is that means Eg generated EMF Eg is proportional to IF. Eg is proportional to IF. That is IGF and IGF. This IGF equal to this I3. This IGF is measured by this ammeter. So So this is the ammeter. This ammeter measures current through this field winding of the generator. So this is also an ammeter. This ammeter measures current through this motor field rheostat. Current through this motor field rheostat. This is the ammeter 2. Ammeter 2. This ammeter measures current taken by the set from the source, external source. This is the external source. This is the external source. External source. Next, this is the current, total current. Here I1 is the current delivered by the generator. Current delivered by the generator I1. This is the I2 is the current taken from the external source. So that means I1 plus I2 is the current taken by the motor current. I1 plus I2 is the motor current. I1 is this is the ammeter reading. I2 is this ammeter reading. I2 this ammeter reading. I1 this ammeter reading. So once again I repeat, it's a very, very important test. So in Hopkinson test, we have two machines, two shunt machines. Remember, two shunt machines connected in parallel, two shunt machines. So in these two shunt machines, one machine acts as a generator, second machine acts as a motor. Two machines are mechanically coupled. So this is the coupling, mechanical coupling. This is the mechanical coupling. Between two armatures are mechanically coupled because the armatures are placed on rotor for both machines. So two armatures, that is mechanically coupled. That means both machines armature runs at same speed. At the same speed. Next, both machine terminals are connected. For example, this is the terminal of the generator. So this is the terminal of the motor. So this is the terminal of the motor terminal and generator terminal. Both are electrically connected. See, so here electrically connected, and that means both are connected electrically. So here your voltmeter is connected. That voltmeter measures the voltage difference between the motor and generator, or external source and generator. External source and generator. If this voltmeter reads zero reading, the switch is also closed. The switch is also closed. That means both are electrically connected in parallel. So both machines are electrically connected in parallel. If this voltmeter reads a zero reading, then we connect the switch. So that means both machines are electrically connected. So both are electrically connected and both are mechanically coupled. Electrically connected in parallel. Okay. First, so here see, total we have 4 ammeters. In this we have total 4 ammeters. Ammeter 1. So this is the ammeter 1, I1. Ammeter 2, I2. Ammeter 3, I3. Ammeter 4, I4. Okay. So we have 2 ammeters at 2 field circuits. So this is the field circuit 1, field circuit of the generator. So that means this ammeter measures the field current through the generator circuit. So this ammeter measures field current to the motor circuit. That means 2 ammeters are placed at 2 field circuits. Second one, another ammeter is placed to measure the current delivered by the generator. This ammeter measures the current delivered by the generator, I1. So this generator delivers current through this I1. So this ammeter measures the current taken from the external source. I2, I1, I2, I3, I4. So this is the current taken by the motor, because we know I1 and I2, then this current equal to I1 plus I2. Because according to KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, current centering at the node equal to current leaving at node. Current centerings are I1 plus I2, current leaving I1 plus I2. So this is I1 plus I2. So see, first this motor is started. First, with the help of external source, this is the external source. This is the external source, plus or minus DC source. We give DC supply to the DC motor. First, with the help of this external source, plus and minus, this motor made to run at a rated speed. This motor made to run at rated speed from the external source by wearing this field rheostat. By wearing this field rheostat. First, motor is started with the help of a starter. So this motor is started with the help of a starter. Without starter, motor will damage. To avoid that one, we use starters, DC motor starters. In this circuit, we included that starter not included in this circuit. So this motor is started with the help of a starter. Now, by wearing this field rheostat, by wearing this motor field rheostat, by varying the field current of the motor, by varying the field current of the motor, field flux of the motor is varied because speed of the motor is inversely proportional to flux. Speed of the motor is inversely proportional to flux. We vary the field current through this circuit. Field current through this circuit. Flux varies. Flux varies means the speed also varies. In that manner, speed of the motor is adjusted up to rated speed. Up to rated speed. So that means motor made to run at a rated speed with the help of motor field rheostat. That means motor field rheostat is varied to make motor run at rated speed. If motor runs at a rated speed, both are mechanically coupled because motor shaft is connected to generator shaft. Both are mechanically coupled. So that means the generator runs at rated speed because both are mechanically coupled. Therefore, generator runs at rated speed. The generator EMF in a generator EG is given by the generated EMF in a generator EG is given by EG is proportional to field current or field flux. That means field current or field flux. So if this generator is rotating with the help of a prime mover, that is a motor, generator build up some voltage, small voltage with the help of a residual magnetism. So that residual magnetism voltage build up some residual, that is called residual voltage. That residual, small residual voltage circulate the current in this loop. So that current further increase the generated EMF. So in a cumulative manner, voltage will build up. In a cumulative manner, voltage will build up. So that up to rated voltage, with the help of varying this field rheostat, generator generated rated voltage. Generator generate rated voltage means motor voltage and generator voltage both are equal because both are same rating machines. If generator rated voltage is nothing but rated motor voltage, so that is also equal to supply voltage because all are connected in parallel. See, all are connected in parallel. So this is the source voltage. See, source voltage. So this is the motor terminals. So this is the generator terminals. So that means three terminals, that is source terminal, motor terminal and generator terminal at the same voltage. Initially source voltage and motor voltage is same. Now we made the generator voltage equal to rated voltage by varying the generator field rheostat. If you vary the generator field rheostat, the generator EMF varies. So in that manner, generated voltage of the generator is adjusted up to rated voltage, or that is also equal to source voltage, or that is also equal to motor terminal voltage. In that case, the voltmeter reads 0 reading because voltmeter measures the potential difference between the two terminals. But we made two terminals potential equal. So if we made two terminals potentially same, then voltmeter reads 0 reading. So if voltmeter reads 0 reading, the switch is closed. Now the switch is closed means both generator and motor electrically connected. Otherwise, not electrically connected, only mechanically connected. If you close the switch, both generator and motor are electrically connected. By closing the switch. So in that case, voltmeter reads 0 reading. Switch is closed when the voltmeter reads 0 reading. After that, gradually varying the field rheostat of the generator, the generated voltage magnitude increases. The generated magnitude increases. That means generator potential, we are increasing the generator potential. That means generator is at a higher potential and motor is at a somewhat lower potential. So that means power flows from higher potential to lower potential. Therefore, electrical power flows from generator to motor in that manner. That means generator to motor, power flows from generator to motor, and motor gives mechanical input to the, and generator gives electrical power to the motor. Motor gives mechanical power to the generator. In that manner, two machines supply power 1 to 1. That means back to back. So that means two machines having losses. So that losses, to meet that losses, we take some power from the external source, that is V into I2. Power equal V I2. So VI2 means power taken from the external source to meet the losses in both the machines. So this is all about Hopkinson test. If you have any doubts, ask me. Any doubts? No doubts. $250 or 250. 250. If you are not responding, I will remove from class. 250. 256. 256. 256. 256. 256. 208. 208. So what is the advantage of this test?
Sir?
What is the advantage of this Hopkinson test? Okay, what are the other names for Hopkinson test?
Back-to-back test or regenerative test?
Or heat run test. It is also called heat run test.
Heat run test.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the relation between generated EMF and field current of the generator? Generated EMF and field current of the generator. Generated EMF and field current of the generator. EG is proportional to IF.
IF.
EG
Yes,
is
sir.
proportional to IF. What is the relation between speed and field current of the motor? Speed and field current of the motor. Speed is inversely proportional to field.
And proportional to 1 by flux.
1 by flux.
1 by
Field current.
field current.
Okay, these two relations are very, very important for conducting this test. These two relations are very, very important while conducting this test. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. 257. 257. 257.
Sir.
So how the two machines are connected in this test? 257.
Hello, sir.
In this test, two machines are connected electrically and mechanically. Okay, electrically, how it is, how the two machines are connected electrically? Hello?
Hello, sir.
అమ్మా నాకు వినిపిస్తుందమ్మా, నువ్వు హలో హలో అన్నా కూడా ఏం మాట్లాడలేదు.
Hello.
నువ్వు చేసే సౌండ్ కూడా వినిపిస్తుంది నీకు, మరి ఎందుకని వినిపించట్లేదు నాకు అర్థం కావట్లేదు. నాయిస్ కూడా వినిపిస్తుంది క్లియర్గా.
Hello.
How the two machines are connected in this test?
Hello.
ఏమ్మా మీ ఇంట్లో తిరిగే ఫ్యాన్ సౌండ్ కూడా నాకు వినిపిస్తుంది. ఓకే,
Hello, sir.
వినిపిస్తుందమ్మా, చెప్పమ్మా. How the two machines are connected in this test? How the two machines are connected in this test? Okay. So this is the circuit diagram. Next. So we calculate the how efficiency is calculated. So remember the motor input. So motor input equal to voltage across the motor is V. Voltage across the motor equal to V. So voltage across the motor is V. And current through the motor armature, current taken by the motor equal to I1 plus I2. So power equal to voltage into current. We know that power equal to voltage into current. So that means power taken by the motor equal to this voltage into current. See. So power taken by the motor, current taken by the motor equal to this one, I1 plus I2. So this is the current taken by the motor. So voltage across the motor terminals is voltage across the motor terminals equal to V value, this voltage value, this voltage. That means power taken by the motor equal to V into I1 plus I2. This V into I1 plus I2. So motor input equal to V into I1 plus I2. That means power taken by the motor equal to V into I1 plus I2. Next, generator output. This is a generator output. How much power is given by the generator? See, voltage is common for both the motor and generator because both are connected electrically. Both are connected electrically. So electrically both are connected in parallel means voltage is same for generator and motor, V and V. Next, current delivered by the generator is I1. Current delivered by the generator is I1 value. I will show you. So this is the current delivered by the generator, I1 value. So generator also connected in parallel with, once this switch is closed means generator is connected in parallel with the motor. So that means voltage is same for motor, generator and external source. So this is the source, V value, V value. Okay. So voltage of the generator equal to capital V and power current delivered by the generator is I1. So V I1 is the power output from the generator. So V I1 is the power output from the generator. Power input to the motor equal to V into I1 plus I2. That is the power input to the motor. Assume that one assumption, first simple calculation, both machines are operating at same efficiency. One assumption, small assumption is both machines are operating at same efficiency. For calculating the constant losses, that is stray losses, or calculating the stray losses, first we assume both machines are operating at same efficiency. That means generator efficiency equal to motor efficiency. Motor efficiency that is equal to psi value. Both machines having the same efficiency. Now, suppose the motor efficiency is given by motor efficiency equal to output power by input power. Output power by input form. Therefore, from this output equal to efficiency of the motor into input. Efficiency of the motor into input. From this equation, output equal to efficiency of the motor into input value. So efficiency is two machines having same efficiency psi. So this becomes psi into input to the motor equal to this one V into I1 plus I2. So input to the motor equal to V into I1 plus I2, this one value. So that means output from the motor equal to efficiency into V into I1 plus I2. Next, suppose generator efficiency. If you want to calculate generator efficiency equal to output by input, same formula. The generator output by generator input. So from this generator output equal to generator efficiency into generator input value. Generator efficiency into generator input value. So generator output equal to same as generator output equal to. So this value equal to psi into next output from the generator equal to input to the motor. Output from the generator equal to input to the motor. So that means this generator efficiency into input to the generator means output from the motor. The total value. This is the output from the motor. Because motor gives input to the generator. Motor gives input to the generator. So motor input. So this is the motor output. This output equal to input to the generator. So same value. This value is substituted here. Because motor output equal to input to the generator. Motor output equal to input to the generator. So output from the generator equal to efficiency square into this value. Efficiency square. So output from the generator is V into I1. Output from the generator is V into I1 equal to efficiency square into V into I1 plus I2. V cancel. Therefore, efficiency equal to root of I1 by I2. Efficiency equal to root of I1 by I2. So this is formula for calculating the efficiency. I1 by I1 plus I2. So I1 is the generator current. I1 plus I2 is the motor current. Efficiency, general efficiency equal to generator current Ig by motor current. Motor current means I1 plus I2, current taken by the motor. Ig by Im. Ig means the generator current. Im means motor current. Generator current by motor current. So now in case of motor, for calculating the losses, so armature copper losses in the motor. You know that copper losses formula is given by I square R. General formula for copper losses is I square R. So current taken by the motor equal to I1 plus I2. See, current taken by the motor is so I1 plus I2 minus I4 means current taken by the shunt field of the motor. The total current taken by the armature copper losses means armature current. See, so total current taken by the motor equal to this one I1 plus I2. From this, if you want to armature copper loss only, that is I1 plus I2 minus I4 because some current is taken by the field. So from this some current is taken by the field, that is I4, that is minus. So if you want to armature current, this is subtracted from total current taken by the motor. So I1 plus I2 minus I4 is the armature current. So I1 plus I2 minus I4. Copper losses means I square into armature resistance So I1 plus I2 minus I4 whole square into RA. Where RA is the armature resistance. Of the both motor and generator. Because both machines are identical, so armature resistance is also almost same. So we take here as armature resistance of both machines is same. That is equal to RA. I4 is the shunt field current taken by the motor. I1, I2 total current taken by the motor. I4 is the shunt field current taken by the motor. Therefore, shunt field copper losses means shunt field current square. That means I4 square into shunt field resistance RSH of the motor. So this is nothing but VI, voltage into current. Voltage is same. Shunt field across the shunt field voltage is V, current equal to I4. So this is also in terms of voltage and current, not resistance, voltage into current. So that means shunt field copper loss in the motor circuit equal to V into I4. V into I4. In case of generator, armature copper losses in case of generator. So armature current of the generator is given by so current taken by this field is given by I3. I1 is the current delivered by the generator. That means armature current, the total current is I1 plus I3. I1 plus I1 plus I3. I1 plus I3. That means the armature current of the generator is I1 plus I3. So this is I1 plus I3 square. So square value 2 and square I1 plus I3 square into armature resistance. Where I3 is the shunt field current of the generator. Shunt field copper losses means voltage is same for 3 cases: generator, supply voltage, and motor voltage is same. Voltage into current. So the shunt field copper loss equal to voltage into current. Next, power drawn from the external supply is V into I2 value. V into I2. V into I2. So this is the voltage. So this is the current. So that means power from the external source means V into I2. External source. Power taken from the external source means this voltage into this current. This voltage into this current. So this is power taken from the external source, voltage into current. Therefore, stray losses in both machines. Stray losses means constant losses. So W equal to so power taken from the external source V into I2 by armature copper losses of the generator, armature copper loss of the motor, I1 plus I2 minus I4 whole square, copper loss of the motor plus shunt field copper loss of the motor, armature copper loss of the generator, shunt field copper loss of the generator. So that means total input power minus total copper losses gives the stray load losses. Total input power minus total armature copper losses gives stray load losses. So let us assume that the stray losses will be same for both the machines. That means both machines. So that means this stray losses gives losses in both machines. We assume both are equal. Therefore, stray losses per machine is W by 3, W by 2, W by 2. This W is the total stray losses in two machines. W by 2 means stray losses per one machine. Stray losses per one machine. Suppose if you want to calculate the efficiency of the generator, of course, we assume both machines having same efficiency for calculating the stray losses in the last case in terms of current. So if you want to calculate the efficiency separately, the total losses in the generator equal to copper losses and stray losses per minute. So these are the total copper losses in the generator. Total copper losses in the generator, this is square, not multiplied 2, this is square I1 plus I3 whole square into RA, V I3 into W by 2. This is the total loss in the generator. So generator output equal to voltage into current, V into I1. This value equal to V into I1. Therefore, generator efficiency equal to output by input. Output by input equal to output plus losses. So input is written as output plus losses. So output voltage into current, output by total losses in the generator. Total losses means so these are the total losses in the generator. Include this total loss. Suppose if you want to calculate the efficiency of the motor, armature copper loss of the motor, shunt field copper losses, armature copper loss plus constant losses in the motor. So efficiency equal to output by input for any machine. So output is written as input minus losses. So input to the motor means voltage, that is voltage into current value, input value, V into I1 plus I2. Minus total losses of the motor. Minus total losses means this total losses by input to V into I1 plus I2. So in this manner, both machines' efficiencies are calculated. Advantage of this test is this test requires very small power compared to full load power. The motor generator coupled system. So that is why it is economical. Large machines can be tested at rated load without much power consumption, because in this test power consumed is only to meet the losses Next, temperature rise and competition can be observed, maintained in limits, because this test is done under full load condition. If you want to increase the load, field current of the generator gradually increases, and field current of the generator gradually increases means terminal voltage of the generator gradually increases. If terminal voltage of the generator gradually increases, power flows from generator to motor. So that means generator delivers electrical power, means generator is under loaded condition. So that means generator needs mechanical power from the motor. So that means motor load increases means motor takes more power from the generator. In this manner, generator output increases, therefore motor output increases. So this process is repeated up to rated load condition. Next, change in iron losses due to flux distortion can be taken into account to the advantage of its full load condition. So actually load flux is not constant, but that is also counted in this test. Efficiency at different loads can be determined. Disadvantage of Hopkinson test. It is difficult to find out two identical machines. Needed for Hopkinson test, because in this test it needs two identical machines. Both machines cannot be loaded equally at all times. Because one is at higher potential, one is at lower potential. So that means both are not loaded equally at any time. So it is not possible to get separate losses, iron losses from two machines. They are different because their excitations are different. Because iron losses depends upon voltage and frequency. So because generator is at higher potential, motor is at lower potential, in that case only power flows from generator to motor. So if generator is at higher potential, generator voltage is somehow high. So that means generator potential is high, iron losses is high in generator. So this is also a disadvantage. But we take both losses are equal. It is difficult to operate machines at rated speeds because field currents are vary widely. So rated speed means first of all we fix the rated speed of the motor by varying the motor field reactor. But once motor is loaded, when generator is loaded, motor is also loaded, that speed of the motor decreases. So this is also one disadvantage in this test. So this is all about Hopkinson test. If you have any doubts, I will take attendance now. Please wait.